Annihilation!
Nobody 2 is a movie that hits harder, laughs louder, and doesn't let up. It also doesn't lose what made the first film work. I'd simply call it a guilty pleasure. It's an ultra-violent John Wick style action comedy that wears its heart on its sleeve. Everything about this movie should not work. I should not like it. But I find it endearing, almost cathartic. It's the guilty pleasure equivalent of eating chocolate chip cookies at the end of the night. This is one of those movies you're not supposed to overthink. You're supposed to sit with your popcorn, enjoy the stunts, the choreography, and the big action sequences. And just let yourself have a good guy be the bad guy for a while. Is it better than the first? Absolutely not. Nobody 2 is not as good as or surprising as the original, but now that we've already seen Nobody, we're in on the joke. We understand where this is going. We just want to follow along because it gave people like me, people pushing 50, the same look, the same build as the action hero on screen. A reluctant hero who can still kick butt, who looks like just about anybody. The average guy who happens to come from a world of violence. It works on that basic level. You enjoy the comedy, you enjoy the violence, and you realize it's all part of the package. It's designed to tap into those emotions and setups to feel relatable to a lot of different people. We all talk about action that connects with younger audiences, relatable characters, family dynamics, and at its core, Nobody is a nuclear household gone nuclear. And that's a lot of fun to watch. And let's be honest though, Nobody 2 is not a good movie in the traditional sense. Bob Odenkirk is back as Hutch, pulled back into the fray, into violence, and this time he's doing it for payback from the first film. The problem is our hero killing for money doesn't sit quite right. So the plot point creates more questions than answers, and the film doesn't really address them. It also leans heavily on cliche plot devices to keep the story moving. Some of it veers into Home Alone territory. And while it doesn't bother me much, you can feel the fine line between a fun sequel and a cash grab. Still, it's meant for a good time. A roller coaster you get on, and 90 minutes later you're done. One of the endearing things about this series is how much it's about family. In the first Nobody, everything kicked off because Hutch's daughter lost a bracelet during a home invasion. This small moment spiraled into a chain of events, kind of like John Wick's dog, but on a suburban dad scale. The sequel keeps that same energy. A small personal spark sets off a domino effect. It's about how a father reacts when his family is brushed up against by danger. Hutch knows how unhinged his reactions can be, but he's coping with that imbalance between the violent part of him and the part that just wants to protect his family. It's that classic you don't know who you're messing with setup, and you might think you're just dealing with some average guy, but you have no idea what fight you've just walked into. The cast adds so much to this. Christopher Lloyd is back as Hutch's father, and RZA as his half-brother. Sharon Stone steps in, clearly enjoying herself, and Colin Hanks plays against type. Watching them all together, you can feel the energy of the cast having so much fun, and that's infectious. This isn't a film for cinephiles who want deep themes or groundbreaking storytelling. It knows exactly what it is and delivers for people who love ultra-violent action with comedy and heart. It juggles two genres, action and comedy, and somehow makes them work. Think of it this way. Nobody 2 is what you'd get if you blended John Wick with a John Candy summer rental movie. If you think too much about it, you'll ruin it. Sometimes you just need to let a movie be fun. There are plenty of films that try to pull off this balance and fail miserably. This isn't one of them. It's not perfect, but it is a guilty pleasure. And if you like the first Nobody, if you like the ultraviolent comedies, if you like the idea of mixing John Wick with summer rental, then this is for you. Whether you see it in the theater or at home, just enjoy it. It's a group of actors having fun on screen, and at its heart, it's a film about family. And if you buy into that, you're in for a good time. And here's where I circle back for me. After I got home from the movie, my daughter was in the kitchen making fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. I know better than to have sugar that late, but there I was, eating 2, maybe 3. Not because I needed them, but because sometimes I just need a little comfort. That's what Nobody 2 is, like those warm cookies. It's not necessarily good for you, but it hits that emotional level. It's cinematic comfort food. Best enjoyed in moderation, but worth indulging in when you need it. How did Nobody 2 land for you? Guilty pleasure or forgettable sequel? For my full written review, please visit realpete.com. And I appreciate you going on this film journey with me, and as always, be real.
We all have different sides. But most of all, you're a dad.